Hey, so are you a sitter who wants to get fitter? So what do I mean by that? What's a sitter? It's me right now. I'm sitting on my seat. So a sitter is someone who sits, and if you think about it, like we all sit, like quite a lot these days, don't we? So we sit in our car when we're driving to the shops or going to work. We sit at the meal tables when we catch up with our girlfriends to have lunch or have a coffee or have dinner. We sit. Or we might go to the theatre or we might go to the movies and we sit. So there are so many aspects of our life these days when we sit. And yet for many of us, we are really aware that we need to move more. So what we want to do is we want to go from being a sitter to someone who is fitter. But I want to introduce you to this concept of the active couch potato, right? Me, I'm an active couch potato. So you've probably heard of the couch potato, and when you think about that person, you think about that woman who is sitting most of the time and she's not really doing anything. So she's not exercising and she's got no activity going on whatsoever. But the active couch potato is fairly similar because it could be that person who, like me, gets up and does some form of exercise. But then the rest of the day lends itself to sitting. So most of the things I do, I'm sitting. So I need to have this conscious moments throughout the day where what I'm doing is I'm actually standing or I'm moving in some way, shape or form. Because what can happen is if I sit too much, what that does is it can create further health hazards in my life, even though I might already be an exerciser. So maybe you are an exerciser and maybe you're not. But I think no matter what category you sit in, you are probably aware that we need to get moving more. So we need to get out of this chair and start getting a little bit more active in life. When we get a little bit more active, that's when we become fitter. And when we become fitter, we can then do all of the things that are important to us in life. So there's 3 steps that you go through. It's a process. It's like become aware. Okay? So being aware that you're sitting more is the first step. So it's okay to know that you're sitting more, but when we get into this awareness stage of anything, we can go one way or the other. We can do something about it, or we can just go, yeah, that's just the way it is, and leave it and do nothing. And then if we do nothing, it ends up having an impact on our life later on down the track. And so if I think about Mum, she's been very aware for years that, she is not as mobile as what she used to be. But then what happened is there was that day when she rang me up and she said, I can't move, I can't do anything. I'm going to have to get the ambulance. And so, her world got smaller that day when she at least used to be able to walk from her unit down to the local shops, which was 1 block. And then all of that stopped. She couldn't do it anymore. And so which meant that now she's sitting looking at 4 walls, except for when I go and pick her up and take her out, or when someone else in the family goes and takes her out. So life got smaller for her. She was aware of what was happening. She felt it, but she didn't do anything about it. So here's the first step. So if you know and you are sitting in that awareness stage right now, and you know that you're a sitter who wants to get fitter, then the first step is track it. Like, find out how long you are actually sitting for in any one given day. Okay, so I was absolutely horrified, mind blown, in fact, that how long I was actually sitting for. And it was like, this is just ridiculous. You need to get up and you need to move more. And so it was like, how do I go about doing that? How do I do that? And so I've come up with a few different techniques. But the first thing was that I was aware of it. And so when we get to the awareness stage, we've got to get out of that and we've got to move to that next stage. And that second stage is why. Why is moving more? Why is not being a sitter or sitting less more important to me? Because when I know why it's important to me, then what's going to happen is I'm going to take the third step. So right now, it's like, why is it important? Now, I was actually talking to my ladies in the 28-day Fueled Up Transformation the other day. And we were talking about, like, what's your vision for your health and your well-being? So do you have one? And if not, have a little think about it. And so the ladies were busy writing things down. And so I then said, look, I'm going to give you an example. So for me, I want, my why is that I can still go skiing in my 80s. So what does skiing do for me that no other activity does? Skiing reminds me of my childhood. It gives me this inner feeling of being free. It gives me that feeling of exhilaration. So when I'm on the top of a mountain overlooking everything, I see that child. When I used to climb trees and I'd be at the top of the tree and nothing else mattered, didn't matter what else was going on in my life, I was queen of the world. And then when I was skiing down those snowfields, that reminded me of being on my bike. Okay, so I'd come down that hill, I bullet a gate, and it was just this huge adrenaline rush for me. And that's what I get from skiing. Now, here's what I know about it. I need to have a strong heart. I need to have strong muscles. So I need to do other forms of exercise so I can do that skiing. I need to stay in the same size clothes as what I'm currently sitting in, because it means that I wouldn't have all these custom things done. You know, I had custom boots made, I got my clothes organized and everything like that. They weren't custom, but you know, I got them specifically for me. And so if I go and put on too much weight, then those clothes will become uncomfortable. And then, you know, it means that I won't have as much fun and I won't feel good about it. And it means I will probably have to go and buy new clothes. And I don't want to do that because that's just an absolute waste of money. So the ladies, when they had been writing down, they wrote down things like, you know, I want to be mobile when I'm old. I want to be strong. I want to be fit. They're your standard answers, right? But when we start to think about why is this important to me? It's more about what is that thing that really we want to do? What's that vision of where we want to be and how we want to live our life? Whether it be in 12 months' time or 20 years' time, it doesn't matter. But what does it look like? But not just what does it look like, what does it feel like? Okay, and when you can actually tap into those emotions, that's when you will step out of that aware stage into that why stage. You've got that hammered, and it means that you will move to step 3. Now, what is step 3? It's execute. So it means you'll put a plan in place and you'll take some action. So I know, I'm aware that I'm a sitter. So the very first thing that I did was I tracked it. And I was mortified by how long I was sitting for. So what did I put in place? So when I'm doing a meeting, I will generally stand for that meeting. Or when I'm doing a phone call, I will walk around while I'm doing that phone call. So there were small things that I could do straight away that would mean that I'm being more active and out of my seat more than what I'm sitting in my seat. The next thing that I did was I thought about something that I was doing that I do all the time. Well, not all the time, but you know, on a regular basis throughout the day, and that was go to the bathroom. And you know, if you're my age, you probably are going to the bathroom a little bit more than what you used to go to the bathroom. And so just thinking about when I go to the bathroom, that I use as a trigger for me to do something. So, you know, 10 sit to stands off my chair and 10 push-ups on my desk before I go to the bathroom, or if I'm in a hurry, do them before I sit back down at that desk. So what I'm doing there is I'm changing that energy flow in my body. I'm becoming more active, and you know, I'm preventing those health diseases that could come on because I am sitting more, even though I am an exerciser. Okay, so a sitter can be someone who does exercise and someone who doesn't exercise. So, and I think we all fit into that category of sitting. So just to wrap up today, so if you are a sitter, so someone who sits more than you move, then, and you want to be fitter, then the first thing to do is you are aware of it, because we've talked about it today. So you need to think about, why is it important to you to change that from sitting to being that little bit more fitter during the day? So what can you do? What during the course of the day is something that will make you go, oh, okay, I need to move more. But remember your why. So what is it in life that I have a vision for, that I need my health and my well-being for? And when you can identify and tap into that why, that's going to keep you motivated, and that means that you're going to take action, you're going to create that plan, and you're going to execute. And that is step 3. So that's it for me. They are my thoughts for today. Now, if you need help in moving from a sitter to a fitter, all you have to do is message me, okay, and we can do a quick little consult. So I'll put a link up as well too, so that all you have to do is set up a time to chat with me, and what we can do is go through where you're at and where you want to be, and we can talk about how I can help you get there. So that's it. Over and out. It's Peter here from Strong Healthy Women. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.